So when we think about losing weight, I could probably say on behalf of all of us that our liver is probably the furthest thing from our minds when we're thinking about weight loss, right? So I didn't even know that the liver was involved in weight loss before I did all this research. So for most of us, if someone is saying, hey, you should think about detoxing your liver when we're talking about a weight loss protocol, I'm more the type of person that might be like, and I'm into health and all, but I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I don't think that's going to help me get to a size 4, so I don't really care. But the point is we should care. So, and this is why I want to talk a little bit about how the liver is involved in the whole metabolic process of fat breakdown. Apparently, our liver is only 6 inches wide, so it's very small, 6 inches. And this is actually where fat is broken down so that it can then leave our bodies and get off of our bodies and go elsewhere. So that's part of that. Now, when you're on the HCG protocol, we are losing a lot of fat in a very short period of time. And that's where I think the whole idea of these lipo shots becomes more relevant because of this kind of concentrated, expedited way that we're losing fat. Because now our liver is going to have to work harder. It's probably working a little bit overtime now to process all the fat that we're losing. Because now instead of losing, 30 pounds in 1 year, you're losing 30 pounds in 1 month, or maybe 40 days. So obviously now your liver is doing a lot more work, this little 6-inch organ processing, pounds and pounds of fat molecules, right? So I can see now where, it might be good to do something to help and support our liver. So for example, regarding how much fat loss is occurring on the diet and thinking about all of this going through a 6-inch organ, with myself and as an example, I'll show you guys a little image here or in the show notes of my fat loss on the diet. Now, I had hydrostatic body fat testing done before the HCG protocol as well as throughout and then at the end. And as you'll see, I have that scientific proof, if you will, that I lost 40 pounds of actual fat. Now, when people lose weight on most diets, usually there's going to be some that's water, some that's muscle and all that. And that was the case for me too. I lost some water weight and all that. But of my total weight loss, 40 pounds of that was actual fat. So on my body, I originally had almost 60 pounds of fat, and I ended up down with about 20 pounds of fat on my body. So just think about that, 40 pounds of actual fat. You've probably seen on talk shows in the past and such where they maybe have a wheelbarrow and they bring out this jiggly pile of stuff that's supposed to represent fat, and they'll be like, this is 5 pounds of fat or this is 10 pounds of fat. And it takes up a significant amount of space, right? Nobody has to tell us that because it's on our body and we're having to buy bigger clothes to fit it. So that's a large amount of volume that's being broken down and being processed by our liver. So anyway, I just think it's interesting when you really think about the logistics of that. It's pretty phenomenal what we're asking our liver to do. And because we're consolidating that into such a short period of time, it does make sense that adding something in to facilitate that process and make sure that our liver is not overwhelmed could be a good thing. What can happen is your liver can actually get clogged, essentially, with excess fat accumulation. And you can even already be in that state before you start the HCG protocol. So if you had a recent history of a lot of weight gain in a short period of time, you could already be in a state where your liver is clogged with excess fat. Or, as I said, while you're losing on the HCG protocol so quickly, the same thing can occur with your liver getting clogged with that. So the ingredients in the Lipo-MIC shots, their role is really to help your body break down those fats and clear that out more quickly. And potentially, in thinking about the logic of it, I could see how possibly that could lead to greater overall fat loss in 1 round of HCG from the standpoint of it's kind of like, on an assembly line, right? If things are backed up, the resulting product is gonna be slowed down, right? Like you can only go so fast as the space allows. So if something is clogged, if a drain is clogged, right, the water goes through more slowly, right? So I'm thinking, okay, if my liver is clogged, then I can see that breakdown process of fat will be happening more slowly. So if those ingredients actually do what they supposedly say they do, then I can see where, well, now that process could happen more quickly, which means your body can process that fat and lose it more quickly. Just take that with a grain of salt though, because I just don't know if that really happens in real life, So, that's the theory there.